This is a reading from the Shree Caitanya-caritämrita as given to us by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupäda. The chapter is from the Antya Lila, chapter 11, the passing of Haridäsa Thäkura. The author first speaks. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, "Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Haridäsa Thäkura and his master, Shree Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya danced with the body of Haridäsa Thäkura on his lap. One day, Govinda, the personal servant of Lord Chaitanya, went in great jubilation to deliver the remnants of Lord Jagannath's food to Haridäsa Thäkura. When Govinda came to Haridäsa, he saw that he was lying on his back, chanting his rounds very slowly. "Please rise and take your Mahaprasadam," Govinda said. Haridäsa Thäkura replied, "Today I shall observe fasting, for I have not finished chanting my regular number of rounds. How then can I eat? But you have brought Mahaprasad, so how can I neglect it?" Saying this, he offered prayers to the Mahaprasadam, took a little portion, and ate it. The next day, Lord Chaitanya went to Haridäsa's place and inquired from him, "Haridäsa, are you well?" Haridäsa offered his obeisances to the Lord and then replied, "My body is all right, but my mind and intelligence are not well." Lord Chaitanya further inquired from Haridäsa, "Can you ascertain what your disease is?" Haridäsa Thäkura then replied, "My disease is that I cannot complete the chanting of my rounds." "Now that you have become old," the Lord said, "you may reduce the number of rounds you chant daily. Why, you are already liberated, and therefore you need not follow the regulative principles very strictly. Your role in this incarnation is to deliver the people in general. You have sufficiently preached the glories of the holy name throughout this world." The Lord then concluded, "Therefore, now please reduce the fixed number of times you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra." Haridäsa Thäkura then replied, "Kindly hear my plea. I was born in an inferior family, and my body is most abominable. I always engage in low work. Therefore I am the lowest, most condemned of men. I am unseeable and untouchable. But you, my Lord, have accepted me as your servant. This means that you have delivered me from a hellish condition and raised me to the Vaikuntha platform. My Lord, you are the fully independent personality of Godhead. You act by your own free will. You cause the whole world to dance, and you act as you like. My dear Lord, by your mercy, you have made me dance in many ways. For example, I was offered the Shraddha Patra, which should have been offered to first-class Brahmanas. I ate from it, even though I was born in a family of meat-eaters. I have one desire which I've had for a very long time. I think that quite soon, my Lord, you will bring to a close your pastimes within this material world. I wish that you not show me this closing chapter of your pastimes. Before that time comes, kindly let my body fall down in your presence. I wish to catch your lotus-like feet upon my heart and see your moon-like face. With my tongue I shall chant your holy name, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. That is my desire. Kindly let me give up my body in this way. O most merciful Lord, if by your mercy it is possible, kindly grant my desire. Let this low-born body fall down before you. You can make possible this perfection of all my desires. Lord Chaitanya then replied, My dear Haridäsa, Krishna is so merciful that he must execute whatever you want. But whatever happiness is mine is all due to your association. It is not fitting for you to go away and leave me behind. Catching the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, Haridäsa Thakur replied, My Lord, do not create an illusion. Although I am so fallen, you must certainly show me this mercy. My Lord, there are many respectable personalities, millions of devotees who are fit to sit on my head. They are all helpful in your pastimes. My Lord, if an insignificant insect like me dies, what is the loss? If an ant dies, where is the loss to this material world? My Lord, you are always affectionate to your devotees, and I am just an imitation devotee. But nevertheless, I wish that you fulfill my desire. That is my expectation. Because he had to perform his noontime duties, Lord Chaitanya got up to leave. But it was settled that the following day, after he saw Lord Jagannath, Lord Chaitanya would return to visit Haridäsa Thakur. After embracing him, Lord Chaitanya left to perform his noontime duties. Then he went to the sea to take his bath. The next morning, after visiting the Jagannath temple, Lord Chaitanya, accompanied by all his devotees, went hastily to see Haridäsa Thakur. Lord Chaitanya and the devotees came before Haridäsa Thakur, who offered his respects to the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and all the Vaishnavas. Lord Chaitanya then inquired, My dear Haridäsa, what is the news? Haridäsa then replied, My Lord, whatever mercy you can bestow upon me. Upon hearing this, Lord Chaitanya immediately began great congregational chanting in the courtyard. Vakreshwara Pandit was the chief dancer. Headed by Swarup Damodar Goswami, All the devotees of Lord Chaitanya surrounded Haridäsa Thakur and began congregational chanting. In front of all the great devotees, like Ramananda Roy and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Lord Chaitanya began to describe the holy attributes of Haridäsa Thakur. As he described the transcendental attributes of Haridäsa Thakur, Lord Chaitanya seemed to possess 5 mouths. The more he described, the more his great happiness increased. After hearing of the transcendental qualities of Haridäsa Thakur, all the devotees present were struck with wonder. They all offered their respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of Haridäsa Thakur. Haridäsa Thakur then made Lord Chaitanya sit down in front of him. He then fixed his eyes like 2 bumblebees upon the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. He held the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya on his heart, and then took the dust of those feet of all the devotees present and put it on his head. Haridäsa began to chant the holy name, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, again and again. As he drank the sweetness of the face of the Lord, tears constantly glided down from his eyes. While chanting the holy name, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Haridäsa Thakur gave up his air of life and left his body. Seeing the wonderful death of Haridäsa Thakur by his own will, which was just like a great mystic yogi's, everyone remembered the passing away of Bhishma. There was a tumultuous noise as they all chanted the holy names. Hari, Krishna. Lord Chaitanya became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. The Lord raised the body of Haridäsa and placed it on his own lap. Then the Lord began to dance in the courtyard in great ecstatic love. Because of Lord Chaitanya's ecstatic love, all the devotees became helpless, and in ecstatic love also, they began to dance and chant congregationally. Lord Chaitanya danced for some time. Then Swarup Damodar Goswami informed him of the other rituals for the dead body of Thakur Haridäsa. The body of Haridäsa was then raised onto a carrier that resembled an airship and taken to the sea, accompanied by congregational chanting. Lord Chaitanya danced in the front of the procession, and Vakreshwara Pandit, along with other devotees, chanted and danced behind him. Lord Chaitanya bathed the body of Haridäsa Thakur in the sea and then declared, "From this day on, this sea has become a great pilgrimage site." Everyone drank the water that had touched the lotus feet of Haridäsa, and then they smeared remnants of Lord Jagannath's sandalwood pulp over Haridäsa Thakur's body. After a hole was dug in the sand, the body of Haridäsa was placed into it. Remnants from Lord Jagannath, such as silken ropes, sandalwood pulp, food, and cloth, were placed on the dead body. All around the body, the devotees performed congregational chanting, and Vakreshwara Pandit danced in jubilation. With his own transcendental hands, Lord Chaitanya personally covered the body of Haridäsa Thakur with sand. All the while, Lord Chaitanya was chanting, "Hari Bol! Haribol! The devotees covered the body of Haridäsa Thakur with sand and then constructed a platform upon the site. The platform was protected all around by fencing. Lord Chaitanya danced and chanted all around the platform. As the holy name of Hari roared tumultuously, the whole universe became filled with the vibration. After Sankirtan, Lord Chaitanya bathed in the sea with his devotees, swimming and playing in the water with great jubilation. After circumambulating the tomb of Haridäsa Thakur, Lord Chaitanya went to the Singadwar gate of the Jagannath temple. The whole city chanted in congregation, and the tumultuous sound vibrated all over the city. Approaching the Singadwar gate, Lord Chaitanya spread his cloth and began to beg prasadam from all the shopkeepers there. I am begging prasadam for a festival honoring the passing of Haridäsa Thakur. Please give me alms. Hearing this, all the shopkeepers immediately came forward with big baskets of prasadam, which they jubilantly delivered to Lord Chaitanya. However, Swarup Damodar stopped them, and the shopkeepers returned to their shops and sat down with their baskets. Swarup Damodar sent Lord Chaitanya back to his residence and kept with him 4 Vaishnavas and 4 servant carriers. Swarup Damodar said to all the shopkeepers, "Deliver to me 4 palmfuls of prasadam from each and every item." In this way, varieties of prasadam were collected, then packed up in different loads and carried on the heads of the 4 servants. Not only did Swarup Damodar Goswami bring prasadam, but Vaninath Pattanayaka and Kashi Mishra also sent large quantities. Lord Chaitanya made all the devotees sit in rows and personally began to distribute the prasadam, assisted by 4 other men. It was known that Lord Chaitanya was not accustomed to taking prasadam in small quantities. He therefore put on each plate what at least 5 men could eat. Swarup Damodar Goswami requested Lord Chaitanya, "Please sit down and watch. With these men to help me, I shall distribute the prasadam." The 4 men, Swarup Damodar, Jagadananda, Kashishwar, and Shankara, distributed the prasadam continuously. All the devotees who sat down would not eat the prasad as long as the Lord had not eaten. On that day, however, Kashi Mishra had extended an invitation to the Lord. Therefore, Kashi Mishra personally went there and delivered prasadam to Lord Chaitanya with great attention and made him eat. With Paramananda Puri and Brahmananda Bharati, Lord Chaitanya sat down and accepted the prasadam. When he began to eat, then so did all the Vaishnavas. Everyone was filled up to the neck because Lord Chaitanya kept telling the distributors, "Give them more! Give them more!" After all the devotees finished accepting prasad and had washed their hands and mouths, Lord Chaitanya decorated each of them with a flower garland and a sandalwood pulp. Overwhelmed with ecstatic love, Lord Chaitanya offered a benediction to all the devotees, which they all heard with great satisfaction. Anyone who has seen this festival of Sri Haridäsa Thakur's passing away anyone who has chanted and danced here, anyone who has offered sand on the body of Haridäsa Thakur, and anyone who has joined this festival to partake of the prasad, they will all achieve the favor of Krishna very soon. There is such wonderful power in seeing Thakur Haridäsa. Being merciful upon me, Krishna gave me the association of Haridäsa Thakur. But being independent in his desires, Krishna has now broken that association. When Haridäsa wanted to leave this material world, it was not within my power to detain him. Simply by his will, Haridäsa could give up his life and go away, exactly like Bhishma, who previously died simply out of his own desire, as we have heard from the Shastra. Haridäsa Thakur was the crown jewel on the head of this world. Without him, this world is now bereft of its valuable jewel. Now, every one of you say, "All glories to Haridäsa Thakur," and chant the holy name, Hari. Saying this, Lord Chaitanya began to dance. Then everyone began to chant, "All glories to Haridäsa Thakur," who revealed the importance of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Thereafter, Lord Chaitanya bade farewell to all the devotees, and he himself, with mixed feelings of happiness and distress, took rest. Krishnadas Kaviraj then concludes, "Thus I have spoken about the victorious passing away of Haridäsa Thakur. Anyone who hears this narration will certainly fix his or her mind firmly in devotional service to Krishna." From the incident of Haridäsa Thakur's passing away, and the great care Lord Chaitanya took in commemorating it, one can understand just how affectionate he is to his devotees. Although he is the topmost of all sannyasis, he fully satisfied the desire of Haridäsa Thakur. When Haridäsa Thakur was at the last stage of his life, Lord Chaitanya gave him his company and allowed him to touch. Thereafter, he took the body of Thakur Haridäsa on his lap and personally danced with it. Out of his causeless mercy, the Lord personally covered the body of Haridäsa Thakur with sand and personally begged alms from the shopkeepers. Then he conducted a great festival to celebrate the passing of Haridäsa Thakur. Haridäsa Thakur was not only the topmost devotee of the Lord, but also a great and learned scholar. It was his great fortune that he passed away before Lord Chaitanya. The life and characteristics of Lord Chaitanya are exactly like an ocean of nectar, one drop of which can please the mind and ear. Anyone who desires to cross over the ocean of nescience, please hear with great faith the life and characteristics of Lord Chaitanya. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rup and Sanatan, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Shree Caitanya-caritämrita, following in their footsteps. Don't want women, don't want wealth, don't want fortune or fame. All that I want, life after life, is just to chant your name. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam. Kalo nastyeva, 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 gatiranyata. And if you give me, yeah, if you give me 1,000 years, it's insufficient, so insufficient to nicely hear. Trinadapi, Sunijena, Jaro Iva, Sahishnuna, Amanina, Manadena, Kirtaniya, Sadahari. And if you give me, yeah, if you give me 1,000 years, it's insufficient, still insufficient to properly hear. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's all I want. Never felt like this before I chanted. How did I exist before I chanted? For now you're on my mind, you're there all the time. I can't forget that you're inside my heart, inside my heart. Oh my Lord, I really must surrender. Oh my Lord, I really must surrender. Oh my Lord, I simply must surrender to you, to you. Things have really changed since I've been chanting. My life is not the same since I've been chanting. You've got a way about you. Now I can't live without you. I can't forget that you're inside my heart, inside my heart. Oh my Lord, I simply must surrender. Oh my Lord, I really must surrender. Oh my Lord, I truly must surrender. been chanting. While I've been chanting. So let me go on chanting for 1,000,000 years. I won't forget that you're inside my heart, inside my heart. Oh my Lord, I really must surrender. Oh my Lord, I really must surrender. Oh my Lord, I truly must surrender to you, to you. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Did you ever feel there was nowhere to turn? Nothing to lose and nothing to earn. Nothing seems to matter and nobody cares. If you died tomorrow, tears wouldn't be spared. It's just a blessing in disguise, just to open up your eyes. Now did you ever feel you had no friend in this world? No one to help you when your head's in a swirl? Well, let me tell you that there's many people like you who are lost and confused and don't know what to do. No! It's just a blessing in disguise, just to open up your eyes. This Kali Yuga, what a horrible age. So much suffering, everyone's in a rage. But there's something good you just don't see. It comes from God, all this misery. It's just a blessing in disguise, just to open up your eyes. So when you feel there's nothing that you can do, then Lord Chaitanya comes to you to teach you the glories of the holy name. And from that day on, you never feel the same. It's just a blessing in disguise, just to open up your eyes. This Kali Yuga, what a horrible age. So much suffering, everyone's in a rage. But there's something good you just don't see. It comes from God, all your misery. It's just a blessing in disguise, just to open up your eyes, to see the truth in life instead of those illusions in your head. All glories to Srila Haridäsa Thakur. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.